I already talked about why Bill Belichick should have made the first ballot Hall of Fame, but now I'm going to discuss why the voters are probably right not to add him. First of all, the Hall is subjective. It always has been. The voters, they aren't robots adding up wins and rings. Being added on the first ballot is an honor on top of an honor. And those voters, they use it to send messages, draw lines, and to gatekeep. Yeah, they use it to protect the institution. The Hall of Fame isn't about if you get in; it's about when. And with Bill Belichick being left off the first ballot, is sending a clear message. Now, he isn't accused of personal misconduct. He's tied to cheating, organizational cheating, right? Spygate, Deflategate, all came in championship years, and this tainted the vote with the voters, right? Now, again, these guys are gatekeepers, and he obviously, is the first ballot Hall of Famer, but he didn't have the best relationship with the media, and it's coming to a head now, right? So here's some things: the Spygate and the Deflategate scandals. Those were, if you're not familiar with Spygate, that's when he was spying on another team and opponent they were playing. He sent some of his assistants in to record the practice, and this was a big thing. And Deflategate was when they were caught deflating balls. Now, if you deflate a ball, that basically gives you a super advantage. You can throw it, you can grip it a little bit better, a lot better. You can throw it further, throw it with more accuracy. And those they were punished for that. They were punished for that. The other issues that Belichick has to contend with was his relationship with the media. Everybody knows that he was pretty icy with the media. He was very bland with them and very frank. He wasn't a fun interview. As a matter of fact, people had to make his interviews fun by poking fun at how unfun he was. And the other thing was that his career success was tied directly to Tom Brady. After Tom Brady left New England, he had a 47-57 record in New England without him. Before Tom Brady, he was 37-45 with Cleveland. Nobody wins in Cleveland. So I mean that's acceptable. In the playoffs, and I'm very surprised that he made the playoffs, he was 1-2 without Brady. So no success in the regular season or no success in the postseason. And in his final season, he was 4-13. That proves that he was more of a system coach. Brady elevated Belichick. Belichick didn't elevate Brady. Brady elevated Belichick. And that has been he once, and that was proven when he left, because he went back to what he was before Tom, and that was an average coach. Another issue that voters had a problem with was he had too much control. He had roster control in New England, draft control, staff control, culture control. Few coaches in history have wielded that amount of power. And granted, it was earned, with all the Super Bowls, but few coaches in history have earned that amount of power. And it was unchecked power. When things went wrong post Brady, there was nobody else to blame but him. All right? When you have all the power, you also own all of the consequences. Now, the Brady factor was a huge one. Brady won a Super Bowl without Belichick, and Belichick struggled without Brady. Fair or unfair, all the voters are human. They see that. We all saw that. We all saw that. So we're not saying that Belichick is bad. He's just average without Brady, right? The dynasty without Brady, the dynasty credit has been recalculated. Voters want the distance to, see the legacy clearly. Right? Time clarifies greatness, and voters want more time. So that's one key reason that he was left off. And the first ballot is about messaging. First ballot equals endorsement. You get voted in, the voters endorse you, they love you, blase, blase. But for coaches, it means this is how the league wants to be remembered. Waiting a year to get voted in lets voters acknowledge your greatness, and while also not allowing them to stamp controversy. And Belichick wasn't without controversy. They're not denying him, they're just controlling the narrative with that Hall of Fame vote. Now, this doesn't mean Belichick won't get in. Right? He's a lock to get in eventually. And this isn't Terrell Owens all over again. We know he kept getting pushed back and back and back, until he finally got in. This is just voters saying, we'll honor you, but on our terms, not on your terms. And that's mostly Belichick's fault for, pushing the media away. It's a pause, not a rejection. My final take, you guys, you don't have to agree with the voters to understand them. And Belichick did not lose legacy points. He just lost timing. The Hall's not asking if Belichick is great. They know he's great. We know he's great. They just ask if, they're ready to celebrate him because of all this controversy. Right? Do you guys agree with the voters? Should Belichick have been on the first ballot? This debate isn't going away. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm Devon from Terrible Takes, and that's my terrible take.